Looking back at one of my old Freedom Friday videos from 2022, and I was recognizing that back then I was injured. I was working through my injury, and I had actually gave myself a lesson. And I'm there with the same feelings, and I realized as I was watching the video that I had forgotten the lesson that I taught. So, hey, welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Dr. Nakiba Star, and my Freedom Friday channels is a channel where I just talk about being free to be yourself, having confidence, and just being consistent, helping people discover your identity, rediscover your identity. And I just wanted to just say thank you for joining. And if you haven't, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. So, like I was saying, back in 2022, talking about an injury that I had sustained prior to 2022. And in 2022, I was walking through like all of the things that I had done to overcome the injury and how did I come back to being myself. And so it was one of those moments, just looking back at the video, reflecting, I realized, hey, this happened back then and here I am again. So just if you haven't watched my channel, you'll see that I've gone through some injuries. Initially, when I started, I was talking about just my weight loss journey, and it was a little bit more about the weight loss journey. I was in a goal to reach a particular weight, and I was freeing up some of the things from the past. And so now I've evolved in just talking about what it means just to live being unbound. And so, as I was saying, back in 2022, I was going over this lesson that I talked about, and really, as I was watching this video a few days ago, I realized, hey, you really need to get back to the lesson. So what had happened for me, I had injured myself doing, I think, like a workout challenge or something, and some years ago, and that had made me, well, I got myself in a mental state where I was just feeling just down and out, and I couldn't move the way I wanted to move. And then something happened that allowed me to stop focusing on, what I couldn't do and start focusing on what I can do. And so what I will share is I really forgot about that because a couple of years ago, I ended up getting injured and I was spending so much time on, rehabilitating myself that I really was kind of, for lack of a better way to say it, I was really mad that I couldn't do the things that I really wanted to do. And what that taught me was I got to do the things that I needed to do. And in the process, I forgot the things that I used to do. And I didn't give myself permission or freedom just to be able to find a new way to accomplish what I wanted to accomplish because I was so busy focusing on all the negative. And sometimes what happens is when we have pain or we have some things that set us back, it allows us to kind of forget what we're working towards because we're so focused on those moments. And when we're focused so solely on those moments, it doesn't give us an opportunity to really expand into like, hey, I've gone through this before. And if I've gone through this before, what have I done to get myself out of it? And also, what are some new things that I've learned in the process since I've gone through this that will make whatever I'm dealing with easier to go through? And what are some of the things that I want to hold on to from what I learned that will allow me to continue to feel like myself while I'm going through this? And it will also give me the opportunity to come off even fresher and stronger than how I began, right? So for me, I remembered when I was going through that injury before that I had limited mobility in my knees. And lo and behold, that's what I'm dealing with now, dealing with limited mobility in my knees, and then knocked it up a notch, getting some more pain in other parts of my body. So I was really frustrated with just everything that was going on. And looking at the video and the lesson that I taught, I realized that, Nakiba, you already have these tools. Use what you have already, and you don't have to make it harder on yourself. And so for me, that's, if you've been watching, I've been talking more about this addict. And if you keep asking yourself, what the heck is this addict? It's like, for me, it's just like a reminder of some of the things that we've stored for maybe to use later, for memories, or just for whatever reason. We all use addicts. If we've had an addict, you've used it for different purposes, and it's really just a storage bin. Whatever you store is what your choice is, right? And so for me, I'm talking about this mental addict. And so there's many things that I've done, and I'm pretty sure that you've probably done as well, that when you feel like you don't need it, you just put it up, and maybe you'll use it later, or maybe you want to go back to it for a trip down memory lane. And what I've learned in the process is we sometimes keep going through some of the same things over and over again. And the purpose of this addict that we have is to allow us to be able to go back and reflect. And it's not always to reflect on all the negative things. Sometimes we really have good things that we've stored, and we just haven't taken the time to go back and look to see what we have. How can we use those things and maybe repurpose it if we need to? Maybe it's not even repurposing. Maybe it's just using it as is and to apply it to the moment that you're in. So for me, one of the things that I've learned is I was spending so much time focusing on all of the woe is me, because my leg is hurting, my foot is hurting, it hurts when I bend my knees, when I walk, blah, blah, blah. So I was kind of getting tired of myself and looking at what was going on. And I realized as long as I was focusing on all of the negative things, those negative things were going to continue to weigh me down. And when I realized that, hey, I've done this before, and what did I do in the past when I was dealing with pain that allowed me to be able to meet the goals that I wanted? And I will share, like, I've lost weight before. Each time that I'll say, like, hey, I lost weight, I realize it's still not just about the weight. It's about the mind that I have along with the weight. And it applies to more than just weight. Like, it's things that I want to do in life. What are some of those things that I've done to focus on how to get there, despite what the environment and the situation is around for me? And the thing that I realized that I've done is I focus on the positive. I focus on, like, thinking about what is it that you want? And despite these other things that's going on, what is it that you can do right now? And so for me, one of the things that I realized that I can do, and the things that I get to do, and the things that I have to do, when those are in alignment, that allows me to meet the goals that I want to meet for myself. So as I'm working through the challenge of the pain, some of the things that I realize is that the pain is there just to remind me of some things that I really get to focus on for myself. And it also reminds me that pain doesn't have to be constant. And instead of focusing on the pain, I can focus on what can I do to help myself move forward despite the pain. What are some of the things that I have to do every day anyway? So I get to eat every day. I get to get up and move. And those are the things that when I look to the future of who I am, is I want to still do those things. So what are some of the things that I can do now that eases the stress and allows me to be able to continue to take care of myself? And so when I went in the attic, I found evidence of the fact that I've done this before. And if I've done it before, I can really do it again. So I forgot that I actually had the mindset before that there are some positive things that's coming out of this. And so for me, remembering that I really get to move is one of those moments of knowing that with the movement, it actually gives me an opportunity to allow my body to have the blood flowing free through it. And it releases the blockage that's in my body that I really need to release mentally and internally. And the more I move, the more it gives my body permission to know that I am pretty much not staying stagnant. And I really feel like that's part of the lesson as well. Like, my body is teaching me, like, you are becoming stagnant. And because you're becoming stagnant, you created this pain in your body. And because you want to move beyond being stagnant, you get to focus on moving. And so for me, that movement looks like just being intentional about what types of move that I'm doing mentally, spiritually, and physically, right? We can be stuck in the same place and stuck in the same mindset and just stuck wherever we are. And sometimes just staying there is the thing that's creating the pain. And so when you learn that, you really get to get up and move from old ideas that really are kind of expired, and to be able to move into the new version of what it is that you want for yourself and how does that look for you. Just a reminder that we can take the old person with us, but if we take the old person with us, we're going to take on all of the things that the old person dealt with, and we're going to keep going through those same things over and over again. And you have to consistently remind yourself that these are things that you are going to deal with all the time. And so when you learn that you're becoming a new person, I feel like we get an opportunity to start shedding some of the things of the old person. And instead of focusing on all of the negative things, we get to focus on a lot of the positive things that came out of some of the pain that was created in those moments. And when we focus on the positive things, it gives us an opportunity just to continue to release things that was holding us down, that was holding us back. And I feel like with the release, it gives us the opportunity just to be able to move freely. And if you're anything like me, and you just want to be able to just discover who you are, who you're becoming, and you're loving this new person that you're becoming, it really does require you to sometimes just take a look at what you've dealt with and how have you overcome some of these things, and what are some of the lessons that you can continue to keep moving forward with yourself. So for me, what I just want to just leave with you before you leave, like, what is something that you've already learned that you feel like you need to remember? I think a lot of the times we're dealing with things that we've dealt with before, and sometimes we forgot about it. And some of those same lessons that you've learned, some of the same things that you brought forward, or some of the things that you really get to go back in your edit, like I've done, and realize, hey, I forgot this was here. And now that I see that this is here, this is what I can use. Is it a mindset? Is it a specific tool? Like, is it just like a song, or just anything that you've learned that help you remember who you were, who you're becoming, and the things that you've overcome? And instead of focusing on like all of the negative things, we really just get to focus on being positive about ourselves, and how that positivity will allow us to continue to spark change and be the people and the person that you want to become. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you for joining, and thank you for watching, and please hit the like button and subscribe. I'll see you next week. Bye.